Welcome to the execution war. This is the most visible of the three wars, and it is the most unforgiving. I'm Chris Hunsicker, and this is the Dealership War Room. Leadership fire, 7 minutes, built daily, fueled intentionally, and delivered relentlessly. I'm recording this in the Hansel Ford conference room here in Santa Rosa, California, where tomorrow morning we're going to take 2 hours and dive deep into the very ideas I'm going to share with you today on how to win the execution war and absolutely use the velocity framework to change your business. So let's dive in. The execution war is where strategy gets stress tested. And most leaders, this is where they fail. This is where they die because they don't have executional rhythm. What they have is executional hope. And hope does not close gaps. Systems do. So I want to share with you now 3 fronts that you need to fight on, 3 tiles in the model, and the tools that are going to help you build repeatable execution. Number 1 is friction and follow through, because the plan doesn't care how you feel, and mood is never the boss. So when you find yourself on this battlefront, let me share with you one of my favorite tools. It's called the 2-minute shift, and I use this tool personally as much as anything else that I'm going to share with you in the entire velocity framework. And this is the case. When you find yourself not wanting to do the thing that you need to do, then I want you to run this sequence. First, stand up, move, breathe. Next, say out loud, I don't want to do this, but I have to get started. And then work on it for 2 minutes. This hacks the activation threshold. This is the single best kept secret in all of execution. The battle isn't in the full task. The battle is the first 2 minutes, because discipline beats delay and movement kills resistance. That's why this is so powerful. You can use this tool over and over and over again. Every time you face resistance, every time you find yourself not wanting to do the thing you do, you run the sequence. So the second front we've got to win on is feedback and fortitude. Correction isn't criticism, it's clarity. You see, your ego, it wants protection, but your mission, your goals, your dreams, they need correction. So the tool I want to share with you is the calm feedback loop. This is a tool to use when you're either giving or receiving feedback under pressure. Because the simple passing here and there, that's easy, but threshold moments, when it's difficult, when it's hard, when you really got to deliver under pressure, when execution matters, this is the model that I want you to use. So here's the model. C, context, A, alignment, L, learning, M, move forward. So here's the calm feedback loop, and I want you to really look at this as we go through. Context, the C, here's what I'm seeing. A is alignment. Here's why it matters. L is learning. Here's how we can grow from this. And M, move forward. Here's our next move. So I want you to think about that. When this is the model that you're going to lose. Hey, here's what I'm seeing. Here's why this matters so much. Here's how we can grow from this. And here's our next step. Do you understand? That allows you to change the game. When you have the discipline to use this model, it turns your critique into coaching and your coaching into execution, which is the whole reason for the conversation. When you step up to be an elite operator and you're willing to discipline yourself to structure your feedback so that you absolutely get results, you're not just right. Anybody can have a feedback session where they're right and they're accurate. You don't want to be accurate. You want to be effective. And when you're willing to discipline yourself to use a model like this, now all of a sudden your critique becomes coaching. And your coaching becomes execution, which is what this is all about. You see, fortitude isn't just about being tough or a sense of toughness. It's your ability to be teachable under fire. The third front in the execution war is systems and stamina. And it's simple if you take a look at it, that execution is never a sprint. It's a system. We never rise to the level of our intention. We fall to the level of our repetition. Because remember, identity is what you repeatedly do. Whatever you're repeating, that's who you are. And who you are is always how you're going to execute. So to win on this front of systems and stamina, I want to share with you the tool that I call the Daily 3. Again, offensively simple. Everything in the entire velocity framework is designed to be able to use in a minute, in 30 seconds, in 15 seconds. All it requires is focus and discipline, because you have all the time in the world that you can do to execute. And if you use the system, your execution is going to go through the roof. So the Daily 3 is simple. As you begin every shift, every day, every important part of the day or meeting, all I want you to do is write down the answer to these 3 questions. And I want you to write it because there's something about writing it on paper that carves it into your brain, that actually defines neurological pathways. And that's what we want to get done. First question is, what's one win I'm committed to today? Then, what's one standard I'm going to reinforce today in our team? And then third, what is one system that I'm going to pay attention to today? Now, once you've written it down, I need you to post it on your whiteboard, on your computer, on your desktop, in your planner, wherever it fits. But I need you to post it, because when the day gets loud, and you know that it will, you need to be able to rely on what I call automatic alignment. You see, amateurs rely on memory, but professionals, they rely on rhythm. And that's what we're building, is the rhythm of execution. So now it's time to cross the execution bridge. And like we've been doing all week, I've given you 3 tools. I want you to pick one and use it today, not someday. Is it going to be the 2-minute shift, which I told you is one of my absolute favorites? I use it all the time. Is it going to be the calm feedback loop, so you become a disciplined elite operator that's able to turn coaching into execution instead of just critique and criticism? Or is it going to be the daily 3 that's going to get you focused and set up on where you want to go? I'm not sure which you're going to use, but pick one of them. And like I said, not someday, do it today. Now, once you've deployed that tool on the front, in the battle, watch how your execution starts to tighten up. Because elite operators don't just show up with ideas. They show up with execution under pressure. And now you've seen the whole battlefield, all 3 wars that we have got to win as elite operators. The inner war for self-leadership, the team war for cultural alignment, and the execution war for consistent behavior under fire. That's what it's all about. And now you know the truth. Elite operators, the best leaders, they don't rise to pressure. They are built for it. What we know walking in, this is hard work. When you step into the arena, you know there's going to be a fight. There's going to be blood, sweat, tears, and battles. All of us, we know what retail automotive is. We know what this environment is like, and we choose to get in the arena. It's one of the reasons I love spending time with you. I love creating these podcasts, is because you're a warrior and I'm a warrior, and you're willing to be in the arena. You're willing to fight, and I'm willing to fight right beside you. But I want to give you the tools, strategies, mindsets, and ideas that you're going to need to absolutely win all 3 wars, at home and at work, so you can have an elite operator running an unbelievable life. And with that, I will see you tomorrow in the Dealership War Room.